Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Welcome back to another episode of Learning Second Trumpet Excerpts. My name is Anthony Prisk, and I play second trumpet in the Philadelphia Orchestra, and I also teach at the Peabody Institute and Temple University. For this fourth episode of my series, I'd like to cover the second trumpet part to Sergei Rachmaninov's Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini, Opus 43. This piece is important to me because it was the first one that I recorded with the Philadelphia Orchestra as a member. Conducted by Yannick Nézet-Séguin and played by Daniil Trifonov, it was a really special experience. Follow me as I go through the steps to develop the skills needed to play this excerpt in an audition or in the orchestra. Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini is a showpiece for piano and orchestra written by Sergei Rachmaninov in 1934 while he was in Philadelphia. Many pieces that Sergei Rachmaninov wrote during this time were premiered by the Philadelphia Orchestra and Leopold Stokowski. In this case, Rachmaninoff premiered the piece himself with Stokowski and the Philadelphia Orchestra. The trumpet excerpt comes from the 14th variation, L'Esteso Tempo in F major. It's a brass fanfare that shows off the sound of the brass instruments and the gymnastic abilities of the trumpet. So now let's get at looking at the second trumpet excerpt from this variation and tackle the challenges that it imposes. Even though this excerpt is very rhythmic and articulated, I'd like to talk about the air patterns and connecting the notes first. I like to slur the whole excerpt with the energy in my sound, so I don't have to make it all with my articulation. So I'm going to slur the excerpt with air patterns, and I'm going to connect all the main notes. This way, I can work on intonation, and I can work on connection of all the notes without worrying about how I'm articulating it. I still like to play with good time here and try to put the breaths where I would if I was actually playing the excerpt. After working on the air patterns and getting connection and energy in our sound, let's add some articulation to that pattern. We're going to play some triplets and try to focus on playing with really steady time, clear articulation, without losing that sound and energy. When working on this excerpt, I like to isolate the triplets so I can find evenness, clarity, and note length. This is as simple as just playing triplets with a metronome until you find the sound and articulation and note length that you want. Once I've found that note length and articulation, I like to add it to the excerpt and subdivide the whole excerpt with triplets. This will also help you with the steadiness of your time. Subdivision, I think, is the key to playing with very good time and articulation. It will also help you with accuracy. When working on this excerpt, I like to isolate those tricky downward arpeggios. First, by playing the skeletal structure like Mike Sachs's Daily Fundamentals book, to just play the first note of each triplet and focus on clarity of sound, articulation, and intonation. Use the stamp adage, think up as you're going down, to keep the pitch from sagging through the arpeggio. I'll go through my steps very quickly, but take your time and find the sound that you want. When working on intonation, sometimes I like to use a drone. So in this excerpt, I like to put it on an F. And from F to F, we should be consistent with our sound and intonation. Now that we've gone through the challenges and fundamentals of this excerpt, I'd like to play it for you as I would either in an audition or in the orchestra. Thanks again for joining me for my 4th installment of Learning Second Trumpet Excerpts. I hope you've found this tutorial useful and helpful in your preparation of Rachmaninoff's Rhapsody on the Theme of Paganini. Please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. Good luck and see you next time.